Why aren't women not as promiscuous as men? I made a video the other day saying that they aren't, and there was a great comment on there saying that women get bored easily during sex, according to research. And I've read that before, so that is one truth, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we want to be promiscuous. Why is that? Well, for younger women, there's a real fear of getting pregnant. That's one fear. I know birth control helps with that, but we know inherently while we're menstruating and ovulating that we can get pregnant. And there, unless a woman's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna get an abortion every time I get pregnant. That's not always like, I mean, you can, but there are also risks with that. I've had two abortions, or I had three abortions, two in high school, one in college, so I'm fairly comfortable with that, but it's not like a go-to thing, like, oh, I'm gonna just get an abortion. Like, we have that. And then if we have children, we want to be careful who the father is. Like if I want a baby, I'm going to be fucking choosy whose sperm I have in me, because is this man going to take care of me when I'm at my most helpless, raising a young child, nursing and all that? Is he going to take care of me emotionally and financially? That's what I would want. Or is he going to run off, you know? And there's a lot of problem with that in the African American community with men running off. I don't know why. Maybe someone can tell me why that is. They have a high rate of unwed mothers. But anyway, so the we can, we know that we can get pregnant. Second, I think that STDs are more likely to be caught by women because we're the receivers of the bodily fluid of the men, of the sperm. It's a lot more likely to get an STD taking in a man's sperm in our vagina than it is from him getting it from us, I think. I'm going to tell you another reason, though. I'm going to give you some other reasons. Women are beauty objects. Some men are like, God, she's so beautiful. I just want to, like, get close to her and touch her. Because we're cute. We're beautiful. Men are not beauty objects, okay? Unless you're like a hot hunk, unless you're in the top 5 or 10%, we don't look at you and go like, I want to fuck that. I want to, guys go around going like, I want to fuck that pussy. But we don't go going around going, I want to sit on that dick. Unless you're like in the top 5% of men and hot as fuck, we're not thinking we want to ride that dick when you walk down the street, okay? So there has to be something else about you that makes us want to ride that dick, which has to be the way we feel about you and the way you treat us, and you do not have that requirement for wanting to fuck us. All we have to do is be pretty, and so you can go in the visual alone, but the visuals are not enough because you guys are not that hot. Most of you are not that hot. Sorry to tell you guys. You need to work out more, you need to dress better, you gotta get some swagger, you gotta have something besides your looks because your looks are not enough. Okay? Sorry! But although each of us has our type, there has to be more that you're giving us, that because we're not going like, oh, I want to write that dick. I would say another difference is that testosterone is a huge fucking aphrodisiac. Just talk to any guy who's 20 versus a guy who's 70. They still want sex when they're 70, but they're a lot more choosy and they don't want it 5 times a day. So you have testosterone and we don't. The testosterone makes you more horny constantly. Like you guys are running around with hard-ons all the time when you're 20. I don't know any woman who's 20 running around with a wet pussy all day long wanting to ride dick. Okay? I never heard of that. Now, someone left me one of the comments that there are promiscuous women. I would like to know if they are outside of the categories that I said of sexually exploring during a brief period of their time, drunk, uh, hypersexualized from childhood sexual abuse. Um, I just don't know. I've gone to swingers things. I was involved in the swinger community for 6 months, the polyamory community for a year. I have single friends, and I've never seen a promiscuous woman. I've met women who like sex, and if they're single, they may have a hookup buddy. They like sex in their relationships, but I didn't ever meet any women at any of those events who just randomly fuck around. The swinger women typically would have sex with their husbands. A lot of them did it for their husbands. In the polyamory community, they have relationships they're very careful about who they have sex with and forming an actual relationship first. They're all very choosy. I was shocked how choosy they were. I thought they would be horny and promiscuous, but I didn't meet one. I didn't meet one. They were all very choosy about who they wanted to fuck. A lot choosier than the men. But a big reason that women are not as promiscuous as men is because there's a 90% chance that the guy I'm fucking or the woman I'm fucking is going to suck in bed, and it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel good because a lot of people don't know how to touch my pussy, how to touch it the way I like it, how to turn me on. And I can tell you that if a guy is banging a chick, excuse my street language here, I'm just talking kind of like street languagey here. When a man has sex with a woman, and I'm not going to call it making love. Like, come on, don't say I'm making love to my husband. Say I'm fucking my husband. You're fucking him. Save that making love shit for when you're actually being romantic and passionate and doing the slow, deep, passionate sex. That's making love. That's maybe 1/4 of the time. The rest of the time, you're just like banging out a quickie or fucking him or having sex or getting frisky or whatever you want to call it. Don't call it making love as if it's some religious virgin purity thing, you know? It's an animalistic primal urge. Give it a little bit of pizzazz. At least use the word fucking. I'm fucking my husband. That's how people should say that. I'm fucking my boyfriend. Not when we make love, just say when we're fucking. Anyway, when men are having sex with women, there's a 90% chance they're going to have a great time. They're going to come. It's pretty certain they're going to come. They're going to have a great time. And it's extremely rare that they would feel any kind of pain. I guess a pain could be if the woman accidentally uses her teeth on a blowjob. That's really rare. Or I've heard of cases where the penis accidentally got bent when she was riding him. I think those things are pretty rare for a guy. I would venture to say that most men have never experienced any kind of pain during sex. Now, for women, pain is very common. I experience pain during sex all the time from men who don't know what they're doing. They're clumsy. They're touching me when I'm still dry. They don't know how to touch my pussy. They're too rough, too quick, too fast. And I don't always come. They don't all know how to make me come. Do you know that in a recent study it was found that only 4% of women orgasm from penetration? The guy's going to get off from the penetration unless he has been desensitized from too much porn, in which he struggles to come. But if he's a normal, healthy guy, he's going to come in the condom from penetration. And the woman isn't. So if she's not having an orgasm and she doesn't really like him, what's the point? And he's hurting her. Like, where is the good times? Hey, I tell you what, if I knew that I was going to have A+ sex with the big fat guy next door, I would fuck him right now. If I knew the sex was going to be great, I would do it right now. The real reason that women aren't promiscuous is because men don't know what they're doing. They're not good enough in bed. And we need you to be good in bed for us to want to fuck you. We need to either be in love with you, and that's another thing I want to say. A lot of you guys in a new relationship, or some of you in a new relationship, they are having fabulous sex because of the passion you feel for the person. And when that newness wears off, you don't have that passion anymore because he's not good in bed, probably. And just from me having sex with couples, I know that all these women were like, oh yeah, my guy's so good in bed. Then I had sex with them and he sucks. He's like a D-. So for the woman, the sexual experience is related to how she feels about him. Okay, and also women get bored quickly in sex. But if I'm not even in love with you and you suck in bed, now it's like game over. And that's the real reason women aren't promiscuous, in my opinion. We're more sensitive, we have more requirements, we have more standards. So you have to be either like super good looking, or you have to have good dick game and know how to turn us on and make us have really great sex and have us get lost and take us to some crazy heights. That takes a lot of skill that I don't think any men are really taught. I'm an escort. I've fucked over 1,000 men, maybe 2,000 men. But I will tell you, the number of sexual encounters that I've had that are memorable, I could probably count on one hand. And I love sex. I've fucked some great guys, some very sexy guys. But the number of men who've taken me to heights where when I wasn't in a relationship, who've taken me to like sexual heights where I didn't even really know what time it was, I could count on one hand. So, um, yeah, that's why I'm not promiscuous. Hey, if I knew the sex I was having was going to be fucking amazing, I would be hooking up all the time. But it's really not that great. That's why I make guys pay me for it. And I know it would be greater for me if I was into the guy. And then there's a lot more exploring, and he knows what I like and all of that. But uh, also, as far as women getting bored, I do not like it when a guy fucks me the same way twice every time, or I do it the same way every time. I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised. There's a lot of pressure on you guys to make us want to fuck you. You have to be good looking, you have to be good in bed, and you have to have good game, new strategies. Surprise me every time, make it different. My ex-husband was really good about that. I was not that happy sexually, but one thing he did do, he fucked me really well, and he made it different every time. Like, I never knew how it was going to go. He just naturally made it different every time. I just didn't want it to be done so quick, and I wanted more emotional content, but he was good at that. I didn't get bored with him. I kept wanting him. So yeah, that's what I want to say. Any other tips on women being promiscuous? I would love for you to share them in the comments. I just love this whole topic. And maybe one day I will have a guy that honestly the only reason I want a relationship is to have good sex. I don't feel like I need a man for anything else. I really don't. I don't really see what else a man could offer me besides good sex, but I want it in the context of a relationship. Whatever that really means, I don't really know right now. But I want him to spend time with me, and I want to enjoy spending time with him other than the fucking. That's what I know. I want to have great sex with a guy who tells me yes, yes, yes to this, yes to this, yes to this, let's try this. And I want to have him around for during the day and at night where I feel like I really like his company and I don't want him to go, and we do things together, whatever that is. I don't really know anything else, but I want good sex. And I don't want to have him just for sex. That's all I know, you guys. That's all I know. I'm being fucking honest. That's all I know. And I've judged myself like I should want him for emotional support and I should want him for this and that. And I think all that will fall into place once the first part of it is in place. Like, I'm impressed with you. I trust you. I like you. You're good looking. I want to fuck you. And we like spending time together. And that's all I know. Thanks for watching my video.